Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Township Committee meeting of July 11th, 2017. Ms. Borick, please call the roll.
Is your mic on? Is your mic on?
Yeah.
It just didn't record. It's not. Maybe a little closer. Okay. Committeeman Burchett? Here. Committeeman Delcourt?
Here.
Committeeman Thompson?
Here.
Deputy Mayor McCauley? Absent. Mayor Sirachi?
Here.
Administrator Ferreira?
Here.
Attorney Willard?
Here.
Attorney Bernstein?
Here.
CFO Costa? Here.
Thank you, and please join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be advised in accordance with the Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, that notice of this meeting was made by the posting on the bulletin board at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex and notifying the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex at 7:30 p.m. July 11th, 2017. First up, have approval of minutes. May I have a motion to approve the February 28th, 2017 executive session minutes?
So moved.
Doug?
I was absent. I missed that meeting,
Oh,
but
that's right.
I suppose I can make a motion on it regardless.
Okay.
I'll make that motion, or second it.
Thank you. Comments from the dais? Floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Burchett?
Abstain.
Committeeman Delcourt?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Abstain.
Mayor Sirachi?
Yes. May I have a motion to approve the June 13th, 2017 regular session minutes?
So moved.
Second?
Comments from the dais? Floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Burchett?
Yes.
Committeeman Delcourt?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sirachi?
Yes. Next up, we have reports from committee liaisons. First up, Committeeman Burchett.
First off, I'd like to thank the IT department for putting in a repeater very close to this room. We do have signal now in this room, and we are very excited up here. As you can see, the crowd doesn't really care, but we really like that. First off, I'd like to thank Scout Shreya Murali. He and I met last night to discuss citizenship in the community for his upcoming Eagle project. Very interesting man, and it's nice to see that we have a future of some great people coming up as they grow up here in Hillsborough. From the Hillsborough business community, in June, it was announced that the Economic and Business Development Community, the EBDC, has created a survey for the business community to participate in. The survey was developed to identify the satisfaction of the Hillsborough business community regarding various township services and initiatives. If you own a business or manage a business and haven't provided feedback yet, the survey will be open till July 21st. The survey can be accessed through the HBA e-News and the hillsboroughbusiness.org. Just a reminder, the Purple Heart ceremony will be held Monday, August 7th at 6 p.m. here in the Garden of Honor. All Hillsborough residents are invited to attend the ceremony. Highly recommend it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Committeeman Delcourt.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a couple of items from the finance organization. Third quarter tax bills are being mailed tomorrow, July the 12th. As always, there's a 10-day grace period, so taxpayers have until August the 10th to pay their third quarter taxes. And I'd like to thank both senior groups A and B in advance for helping us stuff the envelopes and get the tax bills out to everyone. A number of them are here this evening, so thank you. In addition, we continue to rack up some notoriety within the awards that the town wins, and just yesterday we were advised that Lend EDU has noted that Hillsborough was one of the most fiscally healthy towns. They did a study of all the towns in New Jersey and noted that Hillsborough has one of the best credit scores in New Jersey. Thanks to Ms. Costa for her work on the finance side, but really just a testament to some of the work that we continue to put in, both on the budget and some of the measures that we take to ensure financial viability here in town. So it was just nice to be recognized by an outside agency regarding the health of the township's finances. So always good to get that recognition. That's it for me, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you. Committeeman Thompson.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I wanted to thank the Hillsborough Elementary School for inviting all of us to participate in their Flag Day, which was on June 14th. Committeeman Delcor and myself attended that event. Every year, it is a great event put on by the teachers. Specifically, Ms. Hobson really does a great job getting it together. Students get to bring their family members that have been at some point on active duty, and they, of course, sing songs about the flag and everything else. And it was a great event, and look forward to every year. So again, thank you to HES for putting that together so we could participate in that. Just one quick thing from Recreation this year. It's a reminder that our annual fishing derby and family campout will be held on Friday, August 4th at Ann Van's Middleworth Park. All Hillsborough residents are invited and registration is available on the Recreation website. It's a great event. I think last year we had 170 to 200 people attend. It just gets bigger and better each year. There's video movies that are usually out there for the kids to watch and we have a great bonfire. So look forward to having everyone out to the event as we always do. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you. And I just have a few announcements this evening. First, with regards to our Independence Day celebration and fireworks, just wanted to thank everyone that came out this year. It was a good call that we made to delay them until Sunday. I think everyone got to stay dry. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it on Sunday. I did have a family wedding to attend that day, but I did want to thank Deputy Mayor McCauley for kicking off the show, and I also believe Committee Member Shett was there. There you are. So, but also, more importantly, want to thank those who made it possible. So, much thanks to our Park and Recreation Department, Public Works, Police Department, OEM, and Fire for all their support for just not only this event, but for all of our community events. So, thank you all again. And then last Friday evening at Somerset Patriots, we had Hillsborough Community Day, and I had the opportunity to throw out the first pitch, and also got to meet Sparky Lyle, and for any of those that followed the Yankees in the 70s, know who Sparky is, and got an autographed ball from him too, so it was good, but you didn't get the video. There's video of me throwing that.
I didn't get the video. Next time.
So, but I can say I did not bounce the pitch, and I did not throw it over the catcher's head, so.
It is interesting that the videos mysteriously disappeared, confirming that
I'm going to remember this one. Lastly, Hillsborough Rocks. You may have seen some painted rocks around town. This is an initiative started by members of our community to spread positivity throughout Hillsborough. I think Committeeman Delcor should be painting a rock. So if you do paint some rocks, just hide them, and if you do find one, you can relocate it somewhere else and hide it for someone else to find it. There'll be more information about Hillsborough Rocks in this Friday's e-newsletter. And with that, we'll state that we have multiple ways to stay connected in town. As always, like I mentioned, Friday newsletter is a great forum to find out what's going on in town. We also have a Twitter account, believe it or not. We have about 700 subscribers. Hopefully we can get a few more. There's a lot of great photos that we do post on that account. And also we have TV29 if you still have cable. And we have a Hillsborough YouTube channel that showcases our meetings and our semi-reality TV show called Hillsborough The Good Life. And I believe the latest episode just came out. So I know me and Kaz and I went around town a few weeks ago to do some live remotes. And with the episode of Hillsborough The Good Life, they're not long. It's not like a 30-minute situational comedy or anything like that. It's quick 10 minutes, kind of highlighting what's been going on since the last episode. And also, if you haven't done that, for traffic and emergency notifications, please sign up for Swift Reach 911. It is a great help, particularly during your morning and afternoon commutes if there's any issues, but of course, any perhaps weather-related events also. And that's all I have for this evening, so we are now moving on to proclamations, but I think before I go to the proclamations, I want to get consent from my fellow committee members about moving up a couple of items on the consent agenda, resolutions 11 and 12. It's a couple of appointments. A thumbs up?
You need a motion or
No,
just a?
just a thumbs
Sure.
up. All right. Okay, consent item number 11, it's a resolution reappointing Ed Allett as Fire Subcode Official effective July 24th, 2017. Ed has been an integral asset in our building department, and it's our honor to reappoint him. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Comments from the dais? From the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Bichette.
Yes.
Committeeman Delacorte.
Yes, well deserved.
Committeeman Thompson.
Yes, congratulations.
Mayor Sarachi.
Yes. And Kaz, you want to get the camera?
He's right there.
He's right there. There you go. Next, consent item number 12, a resolution reappointing Rich Perlman as Building Subcode Official effective July 16th, 2017. Rich is another exemplary employee with the building department, and it's our honor to reappoint him as well. May I have a
So
motion?
Second.
Comments from the dais?
Just wanted to comment on both, actually. I waited till the second one. So we're very fortunate to have both Ed and Rich in the township since they've been here, providing exceptional customer service to not only the residents but the business community, and always positive and just a great demeanor here in the township. So very happy to have consideration for their reappointment. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you. Comments from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Bichette.
Yes.
Committeeman Delacorte.
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson.
Yes, congratulations.
Mayor Sarachi.
Yes, and you're on camera. There you go. So first up, I'd like to invite Ed and his family and construction official John Fiedler, Committeeman Burchett and Thompson, the liaisons to the building department, to come up for the oath of office.
Sorry. Yeah.
I know, guys. Raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I
Ed Allett,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and that I will bear true faith
I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in the state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
so help me God.
So help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially
I will impartially
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of
perform all the duties of
Fire Subcode Official
Fire Subcode Official
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Rich, you're next.
Bring them
Bring them
all
all up,
up.
come on. Who's holding the Bible? Yeah, to the side. I,
I,
Rich Perlman,
Rich Perlman,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments
in
established
the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially
that I will impartially
and justly perform
all the duties of
building subcode official
building subcode official
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Come on in, guys. Pile on in. You got a couple kids over here? Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gotta sign that.
Rich, I'll bring copies to, I'll bring them down tomorrow.
Wow, that's the list of Carlos.
Greg, you go back
Scouts first. Scouts first.
No, I'm giving them access to that. No, it's okay.
Okay, next we're going to be doing proclamations, and all we just ask is once you receive a proclamation, please return to your seat until everyone has received their proclamation or recognition. And as I promise in every meeting, you're more than welcome to stay on a nice hot summer night with us and enjoy some of the new signal that we have. But we do understand if you'd rather go home, maybe hit Rita's or, enjoy the evening with your family, we will not be offended, but we will take a 5-minute recess when we're done. So first we have a couple of Eagle Scouts. First up, I'd like to invite Zachary Siri to the front and with his family, or anyone. He's up.
Yeah, embarrass your family, make them come up.
Whereas Zachary Siri, a rising sophomore at Hillsborough High School and a member of Boy Scout Troop 186, has recently earned the status of Eagle Scout at the age of 15 while in his freshman year. And whereas the Hillsborough Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough recognizes the many hours that Zachary devoted to attaining the status of Eagle Scout, working with diligence and making sacrifices in order to achieve this highly coveted position. And whereas Zachary has served the Boy Scouts in an exemplary manner and is deserving of the honor bestowed upon him. And whereas Zachary's Eagle Scout project consisted of refurbishing the play area for Mary Mother of God Church preschool by removing the old mulch and replacing with new, building an outdoor chalkboard, setting hopscotch stones, and creating a reading station for the students. Zachary held a fundraiser to buy new toys for the playground to replace those that were no longer usable. And whereas Zachary is a member of the Order of the Arrow, the National Honor Society for Boy Scouts of America, and completed the National Youth Leader Training course, Zachary is a member of Mary Mother of God's Youth Group and a member of Hillsborough High School's Team 75 Robo Raiders robotics team. And whereas Zachary serves as an example of the youth of Hillsborough Township through his high-level leadership and community service, and we're very proud that he's a member of our community. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize and extend our sincere congratulations to Zachary Siri for having achieved the status of Eagle Scout, an honor for both him and for those who guided him, with best wishes for a bright future. Signed by the mayor and the members of the Township Committee. Congratulations, Zachary.
I would like to thank the many parents. Oh, actually, I would like to thank and honor the many parents and scouts for making my project a reality, and I really couldn't have done it without you guys. And also a special thanks to my mom and to Mr. Bird for really making everything awesome. I really couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Connor Welch. And any of your family members? Still on. Whereas Connor Welch, a rising junior at Hillsborough High School and a member of Boy Scout Troop 186, has recently earned the status of Eagle Scout. And whereas the Hillsborough Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough recognizes the many hours that Connor devoted to attaining the status of Eagle Scout, working with diligence and making sacrifices in order to achieve this highly coveted position. And whereas Connor has served the Boy Scouts in an exemplary manner and is deserving of the honor bestowed upon him. And whereas Connor's Eagle Scout project consisted of refurbishing the landscape outside of the Manville-Hillsborough Elks Lodge by removing the weeds and old plants and replacing them with new plants, weed block, and mulch. And whereas Connor served as an assistant senior patrol leader for his troop and completed the Order of the Arrow, the National Honor Society for Boy Scouts of America. Connor also attended a week of National Youth Leadership Camp representing his troop. And whereas Connor was chosen to take part in the J&J Technology Awareness Program, known as TAP, and play JV lacrosse at Hillsborough High School. And whereas Connor serves as an example to the youth of Hillsborough Township through his high-level leadership and community service, and we're very proud that he is a member of our community. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, do hereby recognize and extend our sincere congratulations to Connor Welch for having achieved the status of Eagle Scout, an honor for both him and for those who guided him, with best wishes for a bright future. Signed by the mayor and the members of the Township Committee. Congratulations, Connor.
Hold on, everybody.
I just want to thank my family and friends and the members of the troop for their help and guidance on my journey to Eagle. It's greatly appreciated.
The boss, Pam, really wants all you guys to come up. We're going to do a group picture with everybody. So all the leaders, everybody.
That's for, not now, but at the end. After the posters.
See you guys. Let's get some guys on a knee in the center here.
Smaller guys take a knee. You got this.
Okay, you guys, come on.
All right, let's get
Mental hygiene.
That's good sleeping some hands together.
And then, all right, on the count of three, you're, okay. On the count of three, you're gonna say Hillsborough's good, like really loud and really excited, okay?
Good job, Scouts. Come on.
1, 2, 3.
Don't let that get out. Don't let that get out. People start moving out.
It's too much on you. Yeah. Sure. Living in Frank's basement.
Frank?
Yeah. If I can afford to live in his basement.
Mary Buckshaw here.
Well, wait, I have a video clip of her dancing. Do you want to see that? Okay, that was it.
Okay. You ready? Okay. So we have a little proclamation here. Whereas Mary Buckshaw will be honored by her friends and relatives on July 11th, 2017, in celebration of her 100th birthday on July 23rd, 2017. Whereas Mary Buckshaw, née Galilini, was born in Brooklyn, New York on July 23rd, 1917, and moved to 5th Street in Flagtown with her parents when she was 5 years old. And whereas Mary married Stephen J. Buckshaw Sr. on July 24th, 1938, and they remained happily married for 12 years until Stephen's passing in 1950. And whereas Mary and Stephen were blessed with 3 children, Stephen of Flagtown, Barbara of Flagtown, Marianne of Hopewell, 6 grandchildren, and 10 great-grandchildren. And whereas Mary was employed at Arthur Pharmaceuticals for 31 years and has been an active participant in the community for over 80 years. Mary has been an active charter member of Flagtown Fire Company No. 1 Ladies Auxiliary since its founding in 1938. Mary has been a charter member of both the original senior club formed in 1974 and then later the Hillsborough Senior Citizens Chapter B formed on July 1st, 1993, with whom she has enjoyed many travel adventures. And whereas Mary has been a charter member of the senior dance group, the Rockettes and Rocket, for over 25 years and enjoys playing her role as Lady Liberty in the annual Hillsborough Township Memorial Day Parade. She's got a couple more things. So, and most recently, she's been busy here. And most recently, as we just saw up on the screen, playing Lady Mame. My eyes are going. Lady Mame in the Villagers Theater Senior Performing Arts Festival. And whereas Mary continues to live an active life in a tribute to her longevity to always being happy and never complaining. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and the Hillsborough Township Committee, further congratulate Mary on her 100th birthday and offer best wishes for many more happy days in the future to share with family and friends. Signed by the mayor and the members of the Township Committee. Happy birthday.
Man the tape.
I want to present my dancers back there in Goya that has kept me going all the while. And I've enjoyed every moment of it. And I just want to thank them, and I want to thank my son for keeping me healthy. we live together, and so he keeps me healthy. He does all the cooking, and he'll tell you I do the dishes.
Good deal.
Yeah, it works. It works very well. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thanks you for the good genetics.
Yeah, why not? Why not? They're my family too.
Yeah, we sure are.
I know you guys like each other, you're together like 24 hours.
Come on, Tony. There you go.
These are who's here?
Well, that's why I gave him that paper. So,
Okay. Next, I'd like to just invite anyone that participated in the Green Living and Wellness Fair. Come on down, or come up.
All right, we got
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes, poster contest too.
just needs to know their names. What are your names?
We'll sing your names on the microphone.
There you go.
Caitlin,
Kevin, what's your last name?
Megan Rakowski, Raya, Rashidi.
Caitlin?
I got three names. Raya, is that? Are you the right Caitlin? Three? There's another Caitlin. You?
Which Caitlin?
And this one, wait, that Caitlin, that Caitlin.
There's a lot of Caitlins in this town.
Okay.
Oh, that was yours? Oh,
That's the kind of, yeah.
And I'm looking for, I don't know. Megan, oh. That's a lot. There you go. Everybody got one?
You go first? Okay. We're all good?
Are they here?
All right, so why don't we... Okay.
Okay, what's wrong?
We're going to find it. We're going to find it. First, we're going to take a photo.
Let's take a picture and then I'll find your poster.
Okay. Ready to do photo? Yeah.
All right. I'm going to photo that switch together. Mayor's going to get on that side. So you hold over here, we're going to all look. There. And look at all the family smile. Now we're going to find your photo.
So I just want to thank, these are certificates of participation for our Green Living and Wellness poster contest and also assisting in our sharing wellness or awareness of the importance of a healthy and green lifestyle. So ladies, thank you very much for your participation and for your posters. You have anything? Go back here, too. Okay. Right. Okay. So at this time, I would like to invite Mr. Harry Delgado, Accreditation Program Manager for the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police, Chief Darren Powell, and the members of our police department to come forward for this next presentation.
Well, it's certainly a great evening to come to recognize your police department, as you have recognized many of your outstanding citizens here in Hillsborough Township. So, just to add context to what I'm about to present the police department with, I should tell you that there's nearly 500 police departments in the state of New Jersey. Let me say law enforcement agencies that would be eligible to apply for accreditation for law enforcement agencies. Out of the 500, to date, only 182 have been accredited, and that is because it's a very rigorous and difficult process. Now, some have reaccredited, meaning after they complete their first cycle, they go 3 years, and they reaccredit again. So it's about 34% that make the initial accreditation. That drops to 8% for those reaccredited. But in the case of the Hillsborough Police Department, it is their second reaccreditation. So they actually fall into a very elite group of law enforcement agencies, less than 1% in the state of New Jersey, that have received their second accreditation by the State Chiefs Association. That is truly remarkable, ladies and gentlemen. So if I may quickly share with you some of the, I want to share with you the significance of the achievement. So on June 8, 2017, the Hillsborough Township Police Department received their second reaccreditation, once again achieving a milestone that only this elite group of law enforcement agencies in the state share. Accreditation is a process. The foundation of accreditation lies in the adoption of standards containing a clear statement of professional objectives. Accreditation is a progressive and time-proven way of helping law enforcement agencies calculate and improve their overall performances. It is a certification by an independent authority, in this case the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police, that the accredited agency was carefully measured against an established set of state and national standards and has met, in the case of the Hillsborough Township Police Department, I must tell you, in many instances, exceeded standard practices in the field of law enforcement. So accredited agencies are better able to defend against lawsuits and citizen complaints. Accreditation provides objective evidence of an agency's commitment to excellence in leadership, resource management, and service delivery. Government officials can be more confident in the agency's ability to operate efficiently and meet community need. And accreditation embodies something that I witnessed firsthand here tonight. It embodies the precepts of community-oriented policing. So it creates a forum in which police and citizens work together to prevent and control challenges confronting law enforcement and provide clear expectation about community expectations. Accreditation standards give the chief a proven management system of written directives, sound training, clearly defined lines of authority, and routine reports that support decision-making and resource allocation. Officers in accredited agencies, as I see some of them here tonight, are able to take pride that they have been objectively recognized for their professionalism and adherence to the highest standards. At the end of this process, which again takes 3 years, the department has to meet 105 standards. Out of those 5 standards, there's many proofs. Some require multiple proofs. So there's actually more than 105 proofs that need to be submitted to show compliance. And we come in and we do what we call an on-site visit at the end of those 3 years. And not only do we raise the level of stress, we want to make sure that we see each and every proof that we require. So I should tell you, out of that report, some of the comments made by the assessors that were here that day. It says, under Chief Powell's leadership, his command staff and personnel in general have done a remarkable job of delivering exceptional police services following the best state and national practices in law enforcement for over 7 years. Agency personnel is very knowledgeable in the accreditation process. The assessors did have the opportunity to interact with several members of the agency, both sworn and civilian. Those members spoke very highly of the agency and were very pleased to be associated with the department. It is the opinion of the assessment team that the Hillsborough Township Police Department is a highly professional and committed agency which exemplifies all of the tenets of law enforcement accreditation. This is their second accreditation cycle, which again, I repeat, is indeed remarkable. So therefore, it is my honor, on behalf of the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police and the New Jersey Law Enforcement Commission, to congratulate Chief Darren Powell, accreditation managers Lieutenant Charles Boyle and Lieutenant Michael Fitzpatrick, the members and staff of the Hillsborough Township Police Department, the mayor and council, and those citizens that they so proudly served for achieving their second accreditation, joining a very, very exclusive group of law enforcement agencies that have made this important commitment to excellence in policing. So congratulations, Chief.
Okay. Before the police leave the front of the room here, just one more note that I wanted to make sure everyone is aware of. Committeeman Burchett and I have the great honor this year of being the police commissioners for liaisons to the police department. And I think all of the things that you just heard that were referenced in that accreditation process, I said earlier, it's nice to get validation of the things that we're trying to implement here in town. Well, when outside agencies, a company called SafeWise, which rates the safest cities in New Jersey to raise a child, this certificate was provided to Hillsborough. SafeWise is proud to present this award to the City of Hillsborough Township for its efforts in community safety and crime prevention. And Hillsborough Township was ranked as the 22nd safest city to raise a child in America, not in New Jersey, in America, due to its commitment to the safety and security of its residents. So it's a tremendous honor for our police department, and it exemplifies all of the good work that was noted in the accreditation process. So on behalf of the Township Committee, and I'm sure I speak for the mayor as well, congratulations on this as well.
This is truly some special recognition that I'm very proud of. I'd like to thank New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police Accreditation Commission, Mr. Legato, and his team of assessors for guiding us through this very stringent and rigorous process. And I can't thank Lieutenant Boyle and Lieutenant Fitzpatrick enough for their hand in getting us reaccredited for the second time, because their efforts were truly monumental in getting that accomplished. And also, as far as the safest place to raise your children in America, I can't take sole credit for that. Obviously, our school system is an excellent school system that contributes to that, as well as the recreational programs that are offered throughout the township. And I'm sure all the department heads are all proud of the job they do to ensure that Hillsborough is and remains one of the best places to live in America. Thank you.
Jack, did you get enough pictures? Did you get enough pictures? I'm getting nervous. Are they smiling?
I think we've come to the conclusion of our proclamations, recognitions. Thank everyone for their patience to be part of this and recognizing one another. It's truly, a privilege to be able to do that and just to meet all the fine, residents who do make this place one of the best places to live in America. It's a testament to the residents here too. So with that, we're taking our 5-minute break. Like I said, you're more than welcome to stay. We will not be offended, and we'll see you next time. Anthony is here, so okay, you ready? You're back. Just make sure the mic's on. Okay. So we're back again. Just another congratulations to our proclamation recipients, reappointment to our 2 subcode officials, and of course our police department for that most deserving recognition. And of course, another happy birthday wish to Mary Buckshaw. Truly an inspiration to us all, so God bless her. Okay, we do not have any new business at this time, so we will now go to public comment on matters that are not on the agenda. So if you have a comment for anything that is not on the agenda, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Meryl Bisberg, 4 Hickory Hill Road. Just a couple of outstanding questions on EMS. I wanted to know where the public can get information about performance and response time, since we've made the cutover to Robert Wood Johnson.
Where would that?
I can work with
We could provide that.
OEM and find out
Information
with
will be
Mr.
available
Sheridan.
next
Get that from
KPIs.
Okay, so you're planning to put it on the, like, OEM page, or?
No,
Do
we're
I have
gonna
to get the
obtain-
information through the township, or can I get it from some public source?
We're going to obtain it through the OEM. Our OEM director can get that information.
Okay. Second question goes back to the Fitch report. It's something that's been brought up several times. It was stated on page 48 and 49 of the Fitch report that, and that was dated 30th September 2014, recently officials at Somerset Medical Center, now Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, Somerset, provided information to the township regarding the provision of BLS, which is basic life support services for the community. My question is, when did they provide the info? In what format? Was it a phone call? Was it a meeting? Was it verbal? Was it written? Who provided the info and to whom? And to whom did they provide it? It's still a question.
I'll let
I don't recall the specifics of that,
Yeah,
but we can certainly find out without providing.
And Mayor, it might be a good idea to wait till litigation's over before discussing anything regarding EMS.
That's right.
Okay.
So that's still active?
It's still pending.
Well,
Okay.
But in this case,
But this is well pre-litigation. This is from 2014, and it has been
That-
asked.
that's fine, ma'am,
It
but there's
was
still-
requested, the
That-
information
that's
was
fine, ma'am, but
requested
there-
before litigation started.
It doesn't matter, that's still fine, but there's still litigation pending against the township regarding EMS services.
Right. All of the attorneys is advised that we just don't comment, but we can certainly get that information to you. I'm sure Ms. Bora can.
So you're going to get the information to me, but you can't
well,
provide
I'm
it
going
tonight?
to work through the attorney.
I just don't recall the circumstances of how that, but we can certainly look into.
Okay, so then can I assume people that don't recall the circumstances weren't involved? I mean,
Well, you're asking for.
there's a simple answer.
Okay.
Somebody here, I mean, I think somebody.
No, with all due respect, you're pulling one line out of a, 100-page report and asking us to comment on it. I
But
mean,
this has been asked about.
no, it hasn't.
At the podium. Yes, it has. And in the letter to the editor I wrote back in May,
Oh,
several
okay,
times,
so you
well
wrote a
before
letter to the
litigation.
editor, you didn't ask at the podium, so please, let's just.
Well, it was asked by others at the
Okay.
podium.
No, it hasn't. So, so maybe they have the information if they've gotten, if they've already asked for it, because I'm sure we provided the information, because you're all part of the same organization. So if you need the information, a simple phone call can come here rather than doing some grandstanding on behalf of your candidates. So, we have
It's
some.
not grandstanding on behalf of the candidates. The
Again-
EMS issue is much more than political.
And again,
No,
Mayor, my
please.
recommendation would be that there be no
more
comment or
comment,
anything
right.
provided
Is-
until the litigation is over.
Nope, you're correct. So is there any other additional
No,
information that Ms.
you'll have
Bora
my
can
phone
get
call
for you?
tomorrow. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Tom Mutz. I live at 9 Vanderripe Road in Hillsborough behind the high school. I'd be remiss if I didn't state those events before were quite incredible, so this is kind of
Thank you.
trivial for me to be up here after that. But I want to speak to the recent ordinance that was enacted in I think sometime around March, and that refers to the trash collection service hours. I think the original draft was in the fall, and it was to limit the hours from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. But then the ordinance seemed to change, and it went to 5 a.m., okay, which really is kind of early in my opinion. So let me just paint a quick picture here, and I'm sure a lot of residents experience the same thing. So my subdivision is about 45 homes. So everyone has their own service provider. So 5 days a week, we have trash collection. Okay, so 5 days a week, we have the opportunity of different trash collectors coming in at 5 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so the trash collector comes in, the dogs start barking, then everybody's up. Okay, now I'm an individual that occasionally gets up around 4:35 because I have to get down to Philadelphia maybe for some meetings. There aren't many people up at that time, and I would venture to say that 100 years ago when this was a farming community, there weren't many people up at that time. So I really would like the committee to readdress that and look at it to possibly bring it up to a more reasonable hour, even 6 o'clock, or even limit trash collection to 1 or 2 days a week in the community, instead of every day at 5 o'clock.
So, as liaison to health, this started last, I think it was last September, I believe Mayor Delcourt was mayor, that we started this whole process, looking and evaluating it. And what it actually came down to was they couldn't do 2 runs to the transfer station during a day if we limited to 7 o'clock in the evening, which would have drastically increased the cost that they wanted to charge the residents, the individuals. We brought all the different trash collectors in and sat them down. And if I'm getting into this wrong, Anthony, please jump in. Our health officer, Glenn Bellnay, brought everyone in, Dr. Bellnay brought everyone in and said, look, what can we do about this? And when we said we're going to move it till 7, they said, hold on a second, if you do that, we can't do 2 transfer station runs a day. If you can't do 2 transfer station runs a day, costs are going to have to increase because we got to have more trucks, more people running that same amount of time. And passing that on to the residents wasn't something that we felt was the right thing to do, the cost that they were talking about increasing. We can certainly talk to Dr. Bellnay, and I would also encourage if you reach out directly to the individual company. I know that we've had residents of great success saying that if I called Suburban and they said, all right, I'll pick up a little later. But if you want to give us the names of which companies that you know that are offending, we could put phone calls in too and see if we can ask them to run a little later as well.
Well, I'm sure it's all of them around the township, but, there's just a few that come through the neighborhood, and they're running through the neighborhood. They're not necessarily stopping at my house, or my guy comes later in the day. But there are different ones. Dave's Trash Collection is one that I can think of that comes in rather early. But again, I don't normally catch them. Initially, when I thought the ordinance passed, and I went to the police department to ask about it and inquire, because I thought it had passed at 7 a.m. and they were coming at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And they said that I had to call the police. And then when I called them, they said that, by the time they got there, they were gone. So, that's okay. And then the ordinance passed with the earlier hour, as stated. But, I'd be more than glad to, but I'd like to question whether or not the service providers provided any data relative to that turn time, whether it was just maybe a comment by them, and I don't want to state that there was maybe collusion amongst them, but that can happen from time to time.
Collusion does happen, but I know Dr. Bellnay, they had provided information to him, but...
Yeah, I was part of those meetings as well with Dr. Bellnay, and reality is some of the collectors were picking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they wanted to negotiate to 4 a.m., and they said it was difficult to make the 2 transfers at that time, and we said that was impossible. So negotiating back from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., we came up with a 5, and they did provide data on the amount of trucks and how long it would go to get back and forth to make 2 transfers. And that was a concern of all, and they said we'd be putting them out of business with the amount of trucks. Now, with that said, we have had a concern with one company specifically that we've had a cite on some occasions because they're still not following the rules. So I would be interested to see which company that might be, and we'll be happy to take care of that. But
Okay.
there was an issue with starting later than 5 a.m., and they said most of the companies were trying to make sure that they were on the outskirts and not trying to impact the residents as much as possible.
Was that data made public, or can you get that from Dr. Bellnay? I know
Yeah,
Glenn.
I have no problem with you. Whether it's a conference call or a phone call, I'm more than happy to follow up with you.
Because being in the transportation logistics business, I might be able to help out on that.
Sure, okay.
If you can
Thank
call
you.
our office tomorrow, ask for Anthony, and he'll help you out.
Or you can go see Glenn, no?
Or Glenn.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go see Dr. Bellnay, he's
absolutely.
very helpful.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
night. Any additional comments on items not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we're going to go to public hearings. First up, let's see, public hearing on ordinance 2017-06, an ordinance of the Township of Hillsborough in the County of Somerset, New Jersey, approving the form and authorizing the execution and delivery of a lease purchase agreement with Somerset County Improvement Authority relating to the issuance of county-guaranteed lease revenue bonds, Township of Hillsborough project, and any notes issued in anticipation thereof by the Somerset County Improvement Authority. This ordinance provides the funding for the acquisition of approximately 335 acres in conjunction with Somerset County. May I have a motion to open public hearing on ordinance 2017-06?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any discussion from the dais?
Mayor, we just have an opportunity to purchase a significant piece of land here in the township. In working with the county, it's provided us with a vehicle to secure that piece of property. It's adjacent to others that we have already acquired, either directly through the township or with the help of the county. And as we've indicated numerous times up on the dais here, these land acquisitions are a tremendous benefit to the taxpayers here in town, as it limits the amount of development that's possible going forward, and as a result limits the amount of needs against some of the significant resources, i.e. school and police that go on. And given the location of this, it's really a tremendous opportunity for us. So something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, Mayor, I'm not sure what comments you're going to make, but I just wanted to echo the comments that Councilman Delcor had mentioned. It's public knowledge where this lot and block is in there. This is the property that will connect the Somerset County, or it's our park too. It's the Mountain View Park connecting Ann Van's Middleworth Park. We've sought this property for years. It's been the subject of intense litigation for 10-plus years, even longer than that. We've seen housing numbers that people wanted to put 800-plus housing units on there. And again, I don't want to take anything you're going to say, Mayor, but that would have drastically altered Hillsborough. As we know, with 800 additional homes going in there, the school system would have felt that directly as well. We have a school board member here. She probably doesn't want to see 800 additional homes being built in terms of the school children that'll bring and the effect that'll have on the taxes as well and the strain on the system. But more importantly, this would also stop additional affordable housing units having to come online because of building like that. So I just want to thank this committee, because I know this has been years of litigation. Mr. Bernstein has worked on this, Mr. Willard, Mr. Cruz. This has been an ongoing situation. So I think it's going to be a showpiece for Hillsborough to connect Ann Van's Middleworth Park and Mountain View Park. I think it's a great opportunity for the township and for years to come, too.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback on that, because I guess I'm the historian up here who actually lived through some of that. That 800 number was real. Back in 2005, Kay Hovanian made a public presentation, I believe, at one of the firehouses to the public as to what their vision was for that property. So that was a very real number. I do agree, I think also from a affordable housing aspect, it takes that off available space. So that will not hopefully, but it will lessen the obligation that is currently, we're going through with the round 3 that the courts are having lots of fun debating at this point. So it's one less headache. And the most important thing is the land will be clean. Folks have probably seen, I know they have seen the clearing of that land. That is the federal government doing that cleanup. Is that no, we are not subject to any cost to that. That was an obligation by the federal government as a part of the deed that we are acquiring. And the good news too is they're not going to leave it barren once they clean it up. It will have, and Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong.
60,000 trees. 60,000 trees.
Six?
I think it's 60,000. 60,000.
60.
About 60,000, I believe.
That was 30.
I thought it was about
Okay.
60,000. I'll look at my numbers again.
I was going to lowball. I thought it was only going to be around 1,100, but that's a lot of planning. So it is going to be brought, back to a very pristine state. So this was an opportunity that couldn't be passed up when it was presented to us. So
I'll get the exact number, 30, 60. It's a lot.
it's a lot, and it's going to look nice. That's the important thing. So that's all I have. Any additional comments from the dais?
I'll hold off for now.
Okay.
Mayor, just a couple things on the agreement that we're going through that will provide us with significant flexibility from a financial standpoint. The Improvement Authority has been willing to work with us to ensure that we could put something in place that would not impact us, either short-term or long-term. It'll be an extended term on the financing. It'll be 2 short-term notes, annual, and then it's set up currently to make that determination afterwards, but we could go up to 20 years beyond the initial 2. So, and after the next 2 years, we will have debt that comes off the books, and that's when the repayment will begin. So at the end of the day, from a debt service perspective, it's essentially a wash once we start to begin the debt repayments, which is very positive. And as noted before, we want to make sure we continue to maintain our financial stability and continue to maintain the credit rating that we have, because it does provide us with the ability to do certain things that we couldn't otherwise do with a worse rating. So we appreciate the work of the Improvement Authority to help us put something together here.
Okay, thank you. One more set? No? Okay, any comments from the floor?
Hi, Jane Statz, Devonshire Court. I recognize that your efforts are quite laudable, your intentions are quite good, but what concerns me is that, unlike other items on the agenda, the amount of $20 million was not mentioned on the agenda itself. And for that amount especially, I think it'd be great if that could be published on the agenda for the sake of openness and straightforwardness with the public.
Take that under consideration.
Harry Burke, 2 Sebring Round. I'd just also like to reiterate what was just stated by Ms. Stats. You know, something as big as $20 million, especially when the full faith and credit of the township is pledged to punctual payments of this lease purchase agreement. You know, putting that number maybe in the agenda, I don't know, maybe even also putting it in the newsletter on Friday. This is a big number, and I just, you know, hopefully you can maybe put that in consideration.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be a press release associated with this. We will have all that information in there.
When the property closes.
Right, as soon as we close.
Yes. Thank you.
Any additional comments from the floor? Okay. Seeing none, may I have a motion to close the public hearing and adopt ordinance 2017-06?
Second, Mayor.
Okay, roll call, please.
Commander Burchett?
Yes.
Commander Delcor?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Srirachi?
Yes. Okay, moving on to introductions of new ordinances. I know we have quite a few here. First up, 2017-07, an ordinance of the Township of Hillsborough in the County of Somerset, New Jersey, amending Chapter 188, Land Use and Development, Article 5, Districts and Standards of the Code of the Township of Hillsborough by adding Section 113.8 to read, Section 113.8, Mixed-Use Inclusionary District, District 1. Further consideration of this ordinance and public hearing will be held on August 8th, 2017.
Mayor, I just want to point out one thing. The number changed to 188-113.7, but everything else is accurate. But that was a change you wouldn't have been aware of.
Okay. As noted.
I'm sorry, 113.7?
188-113.7.
Okay.
Okay.
That must have changed later in the day.
Okay. This ordinance was recommended by the Planning Board, and as a result of the proposed zoned amendment, it would further assist the township in meeting its affordable housing obligations. Our township planner is here with us this evening. Where is he? There he is. To provide further comment, Mr. Maskey.
Thank you, Mayor. This zone, or this establishment of this mixed-use inclusionary district, as the mayor said, would assist us in meeting our affordable housing obligation. It covers a 28-acre parcel on the northbound side of Route 206 at the southern end of the township, basically between the Township Line Road and where the bypass will be meeting up with Mountain View Road. The ordinance would permit up to 175 residential units total, of which 42 units would meet the affordability criteria and count towards our obligation. There would also be permitted between 12,500 and 20,000 square feet of commercial space mixed in with the development. The commercial space would be fronting on Route 206. There's approximately 500-foot long frontage on 206. There are basically no neighbors to this property. The front is 206, the back is the railroad, the north is the bypass, and to the south it narrows down. The ordinance includes the usual bulk standards for height, distance, coverage, et cetera. If you have any other specific questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
David, you can just confirm that this was reviewed at Planning Board?
Yes, yes. The Planning Board did review this, and they've agreed to recommend up the ordinance that you have in front of you now.
Thank you. I'm not going anywhere. No, you're not. Okay. So may I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Any additional comments from the dais?
Only thing I'll say, Mayor, is that I can't believe we're still here with affordable housing at this point. I would assume the legislature would have done their job at taking up this action. I know as late as today, Leader Bramnick asked the legislature to go into special session to address this issue. That has not happened yet. There's legislation bipartisan legislation in the past that has not moved forward to address this, so municipalities like ours aren't being slammed with affordable housing units and forcing these builder's remedy lawsuits that could just increase the density on one piece of property unfairly. I would implore the legislature to again look at bills sponsored by Assemblywoman Holly Shapizi. There's, again, bipartisan on both sides. I can't think of some of the ones out of South Jersey. I think Mazzio has the South Jersey version. But it's bipartisan. This needs to be addressed. It's completely unfair that towns like Hillsborough are getting slammed with these affordable housing numbers, and the threat of lawsuit that if we don't pass an ordinance that we'll be sued the next day and have these density bonuses put on top of us on farmland it borderlines criminal. So I implore everyone to take a look at what's going on and see how we can address this, because this is only going to continue for years to come. So, off my soapbox, I'm sorry.
No, I agree. It's probably one of my pet peeves next to a couple of other items from Trenton. But this is one where the legislature is being asked to do what they're supposed to do, is legislate. Instead, they're deferring it or kicking it to the courts, who are basically acting as legislators and kind of defining the rules as they go. And it's the threat of the builder's lawsuit or the remedy lawsuits essentially takes the planning process out of the municipality's hands. So it's a catch-22. If you don't go forward with some type of a plan, someone's going to do it for you, and it's going to be a lot worse. So do hope that the legislature does, even though I know it's an election year, that they could have a very positive impact and perhaps gain a lot of popularity, with the residents of New Jersey.
Mayor, I agree with everything that you said, as well as Committeeman Thompson. I mean, the legislature has failed us, but we have continued to move forward with what we think are the prudent steps to ensure that we don't get slammed worse than we could. We did it with round 2, and we continue to plan with the anticipated round 3. This is something that was discussed at length at Planning Board, as Planner Maskey had indicated. But we have to continue to move forward to ensure that we're trying to minimize our obligation for our affordable housing units going forward. This helps us achieve whatever final number will be provided to us through our court master, which is how the process works in Hillsborough. We're a court master town. So this is one of the steps that we have to put in place in order to help us achieve the requirements that we know at some point will be placed upon us. And the more work we do up front in order to show that we are trying to be compliant with some of the or affordable housing requirements, we anticipate will ultimately accrue to our benefit. It further exemplifies why we needed to take the step in the public hearing above to remove 330 acres off of our open space or available space, because that 330 acres counts against buildable space that could be treated under or will be determined by the Affordable Housing Commission as land that we should be putting housing on. So as we take that off of the rolls, it reduces the opportunity here in town for us to build even more affordable housing that above what we already think is going to be a fairly draconian number that's going to come to us. So hopefully before we get to having to actually put a full plan in place, the legislature will act. In the interim, we need to, and I think we continue to do that, and it's my recommendation that we continue to work towards putting plans in place that will allow us to meet the future obligations that we're going to have in lieu of the inactivity of our state legislature.
And I think one more thing, because you're just, saying some of the numbers there, or Dave Maskey mentioned some numbers. Typically with affordable housing, it's supposed to be a 10 to 20% set aside, and I believe we're upwards of 24% set aside. So, this is another, win. You can call it a win for the township, that we are getting, more, from developers. So, so this is a very prudent, zoning amendment and plan that's in front of us. So, okay. Any more comments from the dais?
Just one last one, Mayor. I just want to make clear, I think what the planning board did, and yourself and Committeeman Delacour, I wasn't disparaging what you guys are working on. It was more, my anger is more towards the BLACKWELLS was going on. I just wanted to be clear that it wasn't
fully clear.
We're doing what we have to do.
Appreciate it, but we understand
fair enough.
We understand.
Thank you.
Comments from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Bichette?
Yes.
Committeeman Delacour?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Unfortunately, yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Next, ordinance 2017-08, an ordinance of the Township of Hillsborough, Somerset County, New Jersey, amending Chapter 188, Land Use and Development, Article 5, Districts and Standards, Section 188-113.1.1, GA Gateway A District of the Code of the Township of Hillsborough to permit extended care facilities in the GA Gateway A District. Further consideration of this ordinance in public hearing will be held on August 8th, 2017, and this ordinance was also proposed by the Planning Board to add extended care facilities as a permitted use in the Gateway A zone. And again, once again, our Township Planner, Mr. Maskey, will provide further comment.
Thank you again, Mayor. This ordinance is pretty straightforward. It basically just adds one additional permitted use in the Gateway A zone. That is an extended care facility. It's presently permitted in the Gateway C zone and in the Highway Service Zone, and it's defined as follows. One or more residential structures which incorporate health care services for the long-term care of the residents, including assisted living, nursing homes, and rehabilitation facilities. This suggestion for this amendment came to us actually from the owners of the existing senior care complex on Amwell Road, the Avalon Assisted Living, the Bridgeway Rehab, and the recently approved Pilgrim River Memory Care Facility. All three of those facilities, even though they constitute the major portion of the core of the zone, are all there by use variances. So the Planning Board discussed this and basically agreed that it made sense to add extended care facilities as a permitted principal use within the zone. Any future expansion of the complex, of the campus, would then go to the Planning Board instead of having to go for use variances each time.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments from the dais? From the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commander Bichette?
Yes.
Commander Delacor?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Srirachi?
Yes. Ordinance 2017-09, an ordinance of the Township of Hillsborough, Somerset County, New Jersey, amending Chapter 188, Land Use and Development, Article 5, Design and Performance Standards of the Code of the Township of Hillsborough to regulate commercial vehicles on residential properties. Further consideration of this ordinance and public hearing will be held on August 8, 2017. This ordinance was also recommended by the Planning Board as a result of addressing the issue of commercial vehicles being parked in residential neighborhoods. And again, Mr. Maskey, further comments?
This ordinance or proposed ordinance was the subject of several planning board meetings, discussions. Committeeman Delcor and Mayor Srirachi were there. There were several residents at the meetings. And in short, the board, after kind of round and round discussions of what's too big, what's too small, what's appropriate, what fits in with a neighborhood, they decided on setting a standard of 10,000 pounds of gross vehicle weight as the cutoff. So if it's 10,000 pounds or less, you could have a truck in your driveway in a residential zone. If it's anything larger than that, it would be prohibited. In addition, there's a strict prohibition on non-recreational trailers, construction equipment, truck tractors, and buses. So there is it doesn't just open the door to anything. It's a relatively small truck. In your packets, hopefully you have some graphics that I handed out that give you some illustrations of what the Federal Highway Administration considers Class 1 and Class 2. So, what's 10,000 pounds? So there are some illustrations there. Pickups, conversion vans, that type of thing. That's what would be permitted. So it would be a 10,000 pound cutoff. There are various controls within the ordinance to make sure there is some cap on it. And that's basically what the ordinance is all about.
Thank you.
Thank you. Comments from the dais?
So the vehicle has to be registered as a commercial vehicle in order to be subject to the requirement, correct?
Or if it has enough advertising on it that it looks like a commercial vehicle. So basically it would be commercial plates, but if there's a vehicle with signage, et cetera, so-and-so's, whatever business, that would be considered covered under this ordinance.
Why do we use 10,000 pounds? Because a one-ton truck can be registered as 12,500. It can be up to 14,500.
We went through this at length at the planning board. There were several people in the audience who have trucks, and it was sort of a consensus that 10,000 gross vehicle weight, as opposed to a capacity level. We felt that the gross vehicle weight kind of covered it all.
All right.
The folks who were here with trucks, they agreed, it was a consensus that 10,000 was a good standard, good place to cut off.
There was a lot of discussion at the planning board, and I appreciate the work that the planning board did on this one, hearing a lot from the residents as well as the business owners, trying to find a middle ground. The intent here is to make sure that our residential areas are kind of treated as residential areas and not as a parking ground for commercial business, but also recognizing that a number of residents make their livelihoods with a commercial vehicle and need to park it at their residence. But there shouldn't be a scenario where they have tractor trailers or multiple vehicles and running a business out of their home if it's not use within the zone. So there was a lot of discussion on how we get to that, and you're right, there was general alignment that the gross weight would not be an issue for the business people that needed to take a vehicle home, and also was something that the residents thought would not be something that would impact the aesthetics of the neighborhood. So there was a lot of good work, good dialogue by the planning board, and it seemed like they reached a fairly good compromise between making sure that our business community was taken care of and that the residents could enjoy their residential areas.
Additional comments, questions from the dais?
I'm good.
From the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Bichette?
Abstain.
Committeeman Delcor?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
I'm sorry, we need a motion first.
Mayor, I'd like to make that motion.
Sorry.
I'll
That's
second.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I'm good.
right.
Abstain, Mayor Sarachi?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, I thought I already did that. I jumped to the comments. Okay, next, ordinance 2017-10, an ordinance of the Township of Hillsborough in the County of Somerset, New Jersey, authorizing acceptance of dedications and easements from John Godowitz. Further consideration of this ordinance and public hearing will be held on August 8th, 2017. Municipal land use law requires the acceptance of property via an ordinance. This has been reviewed by the township attorney and found to be acceptable. May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais? From the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Bichette?
Yes.
Committeeman Delcor?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Ordinance 2017-11, ordinance amending Chapter 147 of the Code of the Township of Hillsborough, titled Criminal History Background Checks. Further consideration of this ordinance and public hearing will be held on August 8th, 2017. This ordinance amends the background checks chapter of the Township Code to streamline the process for our volunteer coaches and recreation employees. May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second, Mayor.
Any comments from the dais? From the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Bichette?
Yes.
Committeeman Delcor?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Ordinance 2017-12, an ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled Salary Range Ordinance, setting forth the salary ranges for the classification set forth in said ordinance. Further consideration of this ordinance and public hearing will be held on August 8th, 2017. This ordinance updates the ranges of various township positions. It does not imply actual salaries for said positions. May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais? From the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Bichette?
Yes.
Committeeman Delcor?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Ordinance 2017-13, an ordinance appropriating certain monies held by the Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, for the purchase of various capital improvements in the amount of $962.78 in and for the Township of Hillsborough. Further consideration of this ordinance and public hearing will be on August 8th, 2017. This ordinance is for the necessary items recommended as high in priority by the Capital Planning Committee. Their purchases are based on what's available from developers' offsite contributions and the Capital Improvement Fund. May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais?
Mayor, as we go through the normal budget process and then the capital process, as always, we have a significant list of projects that are brought forth by all the department heads. And our Capital Planning Committee does a great job. This also came to Planning Board for that list, and I think it covers a good cross-section of the departments and hits the important priorities that we need to get to this year, addressing our normal type of capital improvements.
Thank you. Any other comments from the dais? Comments from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Bichette?
Yes.
Committeeman Delcor?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. And over to our last one, ordinance 2017-14, an ordinance to amend, revise, and supplement Chapter 92 of the Township Code of the Township of Hillsborough entitled Police Department, most notable Section 92-7 entitled Membership. Further consideration of this ordinance and public hearing will be held on August 8th, 2017. This ordinance establishes a table of organization for the police department. May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais?
Mayor, this ordinance, there was litigation, I guess, a number of years ago, And there is a requirement to ensure that there is a table of organization within the town, which we have. But in order to expand at any time the number of officers that are within the organization, it must be identified in the table of organization. So let me say that a different way. You can't add another officer unless you have additional spaces on your table of organization. So this will add the ability to add three officers as well as one sergeant at some point down the road. It does not require us to do it now. As we have seen the results of the outstanding work by our police department, we continue to be recognized as safe. But we do also recognize that for planning purposes down the road, there may be an opportunity or a need for some expansion, or even to create some overlap in the event of an officer leaving or retiring, and the opportunity to bring someone in. And that is not even permissible unless we have enough room within the table of organization to do that. So as a result of state requirements, we want to make sure that in the event that we do need to add at some point to the department, that we have the flexibility in the table of organization to allow us to do that. And this is what this does.
Thank you. Any other comments from the dais? From the floor? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Shep?
Yes.
Councilman Delcor?
Yes.
Councilman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Moving on to considerations. Consideration number 1, resolution authorizing Amazing Consulting, PA, to provide professional services associated with the update of the Geographic Information Systems, otherwise known as GIS, parcel updates for the Township of Hillsborough in amount not to exceed $4,250 pursuant to Mazer's proposal dated June 14th, 2017. This resolution authorizes Mazer to proceed with services related to updating the township's tax maps. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais? From the floor? Seeing none, roll call,
Councilmember
please.
Shep?
Yes.
Councilman Delcor?
Yes.
Councilman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Consideration number 2, resolution authorizing contract with Premier Media LLC for the production of 6 10-minute news magazine programs for the Township of Hillsborough pursuant to the July 1st, 2017 proposal submitted in an amount not to exceed $9,000. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais? From the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Shep?
Yes.
Councilman Delcor?
Yes.
Councilman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Consideration number 3, resolution authorizing agreement of participation in preservation of the property identified on the tax map of the Township of Hillsborough as Block 169, lots 36.03, 36.04, 36.07, and 36.08. This resolution authorizes additional property to be added to open space and to lessen our burden affordable housing mandates. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais? From the floor, seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Shep?
Yes.
Councilman Delcor?
Yes.
Councilman Thompson?
Yes.
And Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Consideration number 4, resolution authorizing the mayor and the township clerk to execute a memorandum of agreement, an MOA, between the Township of Hillsborough and AFSCME, New Jersey, AFL-CIO, Local 3697, and further authorizing the mayor and the township clerk to execute a collective bargaining agreement with the same. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais?
Just like to make a brief comment. I want to thank Ms. Costa and Mr. Bernstein, as well as the representatives from the union with our white collar, and coming up with a fair contract that everyone can live with, and also staying under 2% as well. Again, we appreciate working with the union, and again, realize the importance of our frontline staff and the white collar providing customer service and the great work they do in the township. So came to an agreement, and I think it's a very fair contract moving forward.
Okay. Thank you. Any additional comments from the dais?
Mayor, I'd just like to recognize the work that Administrator Ferreira did on this with Mr. Bernstein and Ms. Costa and all the rest. One of the things that we have that we are we're very fortunate here in town as a group of employees that are incredibly dedicated to the township, and they worked with us to make sure we had a contract that was fair on both sides. We appreciate their efforts, but I also like to acknowledge those that were negotiating on behalf of the township. I think it's a fair agreement.
No, I agree. Yep, no, it was a very good effort on all parts, so. Any additional comments from the dais? Floor? Roll call, please.
Commander Bichette?
Yes.
Commander Delcor?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Consideration number 5, resolution accepting and approving the corrective action plan for the 2016 audit. As a result of the diligent efforts of our finance department overseeing the financial operations along with municipal departments, the 2016 audit resulted in favorable findings. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais? Okay. I don't know what you guys are doing over there, but I'm just going to thank our CFO, Ms. Costa, for a successful audit. Again, well done. As always, the favorable findings, as always, very welcome news that our financial records are in order. Any additional comments from the dais? From the floor? Roll call, please.
Commander Bichette?
Yes.
Commander Delcor?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Consideration number 6, resolution authorizing the hiring of Mike Domino as a part-time building inspector for the Township's Building Department, effective July 12, 2017, at the rate of $30 per hour, not to exceed 12 hours per week. There exists a vacancy in the position of part-time building inspector in the Township's Building Department, and Mr. Domino has been recommended to fill this vacancy by our construction official. And welcome, Mr. Domino. May I have a motion? I'm not going to skip over. I know we got to vote.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Any additional comments from the dais? From the floor? Roll call, please.
Commander Bichette?
Yes.
Commander Delcor?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Okay. Moving on. Consideration number 7, resolution authorizing the hiring of Jim Megna as a part-time building inspector for the Township's Building Department, effective July 12, 2017, at a rate of $30 per hour, not to exceed 29 hours per week. Again, there exists a vacancy in the position of part-time building inspector in the Township's Building Department. Mr. Megna has been recommended to fill this vacancy by our construction official. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Comments from the dais? Floor? Roll call, please.
Commander Bichette?
Yes.
Commander Delcor?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes, and welcome, Mr. Megna. Consideration number 8, resolution acknowledging the annual audit for the year 2016 of Hillsborough Township and Somerset County. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais? No comments. We had a good audit. Again, great job, Nancy.
Nice. Well done, Nancy.
And of course, to all the department heads for being in compliance. Comments from the dais, or more comments from the dais? From the floor. Roll call, please.
Commander Bichette?
Yes.
Commander Delcor?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Consideration number 9, resolution ratifying and confirming the award of a 1-year contract through the competitive contracting process, NJSA 48:11-4.1, with Eric Eden Baseball LLC to operate a recreation baseball summer camp from June 23rd, 2017 to June 22nd, 2018. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais? Floor? Roll call, please.
Commander Bichette?
Yes.
Commander Delcor?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Consideration number 10, resolution authorizing the hiring of summer employees, Shannon Newblub?
Shannon Newblub?
Shannon Newblub, okay. And Joseph Galetti? Galetti. Okay. To the Department of Public Works with a start date, wow.
It's just.
I am tongue-tied right now.
You're Italian, for God's sake.
Yeah, but I can't see it. The L and the I are blurring together.
Mozzarella.
I tell you, that's going to be 2 painted rocks for you.
It's
gonna be a pile of rocks. Okay, with the start date on or about July 12th, 2017, funded through the Clean Communities Grant. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais, except Committeeman Delport. Comments from the floor. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Burchett?
Yes.
Committeeman Delacqua?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Congratulations to them both, yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Consideration number 11, resolution authorizing contract with Premier Media LLC for production of promotional video for the Township of Hillsborough pursuant to the July 1st, 2017 proposal, submitted in amount not to exceed $975. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais?
I have one. And I know Kaz takes all of the videos here, but we do sometimes take that for granted, and he's extremely flexible with the township, with the employees, with the officials here, and always takes the extra amount of time just to get it right, and I appreciate his flexibility and patience, because none of us are actors, that's for sure. And
Speak for yourself.
I've always said it might be worth a lot of money to do all those outtakes that we all have had over the years, so I really appreciate his enthusiasm, energy, and really doing what's best for the township, so thank you.
Yep, he was very patient with me, so, about a month ago. I still want one of those T-shirts, Hillsborough Good Life T-shirts.
Full price.
Full price. Okay, any additional comments from dais? Floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Burchett?
Yes.
Committeeman Delacqua?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Consideration number 12, resolution authorizing MEAD or consulting to provide professional engineering surveying services associated with the resurfacing of Amwell Road from Beekman Lane to Lawton Road. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais? Floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Burchett?
Yes.
Committeeman Delacqua?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi?
Yes. Moving on to the consent agenda, we already did items 11 and 12, so I am looking for a motion to approve the remainder of this evening's consent agenda.
I will make a motion to approve everything but 11 and 12.
Thank you.
Second.
Comments from the dais? From the floor?
Here, from the floor.
Come on up.
Usually start inching your way up, so we just assumed.
I tried to give you a comfortable chair.
Susan Gulliford, Hunt Club Road. On consent number 15, resolution authorizing mayor and township clerk to execute a developer's agreement between the Township of Hillsborough and Route 206 Enterprises Green Village. Can you provide a little additional information? That's a developer that seems to, over the years, often make changes to his developments as he goes, and I wondered what was involved in this one. Thank you.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
In fact, Ms. Gulliford is aware of it, having attended the last set of planning board meetings relative to the Green Village application. It was at that time we determined there was a need for a developer's agreement. The board required such. It has been reviewed along with the various easements by my office, by Mr. Maskey, and we finally have a developer's agreement that I think we can all be happy with, at least for the time being, relative to the applications that have been approved. He's come in for the approval on the zoning, and he came in for the subdivisions on the lots.
Oh, okay, this is the
subdivision. That-
Thank you, Counselor.
Just so we're clear, there are three, a subdivision of the one lot into three. It doesn't change any of the requirements on the full parcel. It just breaks it up for ease of, some of it's partially done, some of it will be done later on, but the full requirements remain in place, and this will just document that. And it was approved at planning.
Okay. Any additional comments from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Burchett?
Yes.
Committeeman Delacqua?
Yes.
Committeeman Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sriracha.
Yes, may I have a motion to approve claims list 2017-12?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Comments from the dais? Floor, roll call, please.
Commander Mashat?
Yes.
Commander Delcor?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sriracha.
Yes, and this concludes our regular meeting for this evening. Just a reminder that our next meeting will be August 8th. We do not have another meeting this month. But we do have an executive session, and I will ask Ms. Barrett, please read the resolution.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas the Township Committee is of the opinion that such circumstances exist. Now therefore be resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough and the County of Somerset, State of New Jersey as follows. Number 1, the public shall be excluded from the hearing after specified subject matters. Number 2, the general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows. A, contract negotiations, Apex, Sherman Brothers, and affordable housing. B, litigation, Mid-American Salt. Number 3, the Township Committee may take official action on those items discussed in the executive session upon the completion of the executive session. Number 4, the minutes of those discussions shall be made available to the public as soon as the matters under discussion are no longer confidential, sensitive nature, and this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Comments from the dais? Floor, roll call, please.
Commander Mashat?
Yes.
Commander Delcor?
Yes.
Commander Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Sriracha.
Yes, and we will now move to executive session. Good evening, everyone.